Hey everybody, welcome to the Uncle Greg Show. It's your boy, Uncle Greg. Today we will be talking about what I feel was the importance of the COVID-19 lockdowns and what we could have all learned from a game perspective if we just look back and reflect on what had happened. Now I know not everyone's case is the same, not everyone worked from home, a lot of people still remained working at site. So I know some may not understand some point of views that I will be speaking from, but just know, there is another perspective out there. So hopefully maybe, this opens your mind to something that you may have not thought of before. But here we go. I discovered many random but positive signs that the Earth was recovering at a rate we have not seen within decades. Marine life in Italy was able to be seen from just the streets. The water was so clear. To be honest, it's pretty crazy what was going on in this world when we decided to stop manufacturing so heavily and stop polluting the air as much as we have been and just taking a break from it, all that. I realized, shoot, the earth, like us, is recovering. And these clear examples show how it could have happened or how it did happen and how we can possibly reverse what we've done. Not maybe right away, but if we actually take a proactive choice and try to clean up our area and our space and the way we create, then maybe we can have a longer sustainable planet instead of worrying about, where we're going to go shoot off to in a rocket. Like, let's take care of our place here. Maybe, just maybe, we can possibly live here longer than what we think we can right now. And here are some clear signs and examples of why I see and felt the Earth was recovering during this time of, the pausing of manufacturing as heavy, and as far as cars being, in the streets, roaming back and forth from work, with people working at home. I feel like these clear examples were key and showed clear, implications on how badly we're destroying this planet. But let's start off with the marine life in Italy. You were able to spot that from the sidewalk. The water was so clear. I'll have this video posted with the link that you can see clear as day. Jellyfish are swimming right there, and you can see them. It was pretty damn cool when I was doing some homework on this subject. But clear skies were reported in India, obviously from the same thing as what I was talking about right now. Limited vehicles on the road, breathing much cleaner air, which relatively was safer than the pollutants that was happening before in India. The people in Halandar can see the Himalayan mountains from their rooftop for the first time in decades. That was pretty huge. You think about it, their areas probably covered with smog and, just can't see anything. And all of a sudden they can see some mountains in the distance that they haven't been able to see in decades. I mean, that's another clear example of how, pollutants is just destroying this planet, how we can't even enjoy what nature has to offer as, in the simple things as sight. Information is gathered from the HindustanTimes.com, everything that I've mentioned so far, as far as the stats. Bluer, cleaner skies in LA after coronavirus lockdown. About 80% of passenger vehicles were estimated off the road. This was reported by CBSNews.com. Let's see what else I got for you guys. Significant drops of daily global carbon dioxide emissions had a peak decline in April 2020 at 17%. So, a lot of these reports were coming around at that time. So just clear, we got to figure another way to either travel, go about our business, because what we've done so far, I can't say oil has destroyed this planet because I have not physically seen it or done it with my hands, and I haven't been a part of it, but I've seen the videos, I've seen the oil spills. We got to figure something out, because I know someone's going to come, who works for the oil industry, is going to say, hey, well, what about electronic waste, or you can talk about the plastic, the overconsumption of plastic. There's a lot of things you can point the fingers to as far as why this planet may be decaying. But I'm gonna tell you right now, as far as what I saw with my own eyes and what I paid attention to during this time of people actually having to stay home, um, there was some actual recovery going on in this planet, and people will probably not want to admit it because they'll be like, oh, whatever it is you are, you're loving the planet. I want to be able to do what I want to do, and that's fine. People have the choice to do what they want to do, especially here in America. But these are just things that I've seen. And as far as me as a person that wants to take care of this planet, so my daughter and my son can live a good life and not worry about having to join some rocket and have to get on off of this planet. Like, the hell kind of shit is that? Like, we need to not be on that. I could understand exploring space and wanting to check other planets. That's totally fine. But like, glorifying as far as this is being like Armageddon, like, you got to get off this planet, or the asteroid's gonna come destroy us. Like, no, man, like, that's not, we shouldn't be fear mongering like that. Like, take care of our planet. And then some people say, oh, it's kind of late. Well, I don't feel so. I don't feel like it's too late. So how can we do this? By shifting our habits to save the earth. What will you be willing to do? First off, we can sustain environmental measures that obviously some have been put in place. Politically, they've been hijacked, and people will say, the Paris Agreement is not good and all this other crap. But you know what? We got to figure out ways to become cleaner, because what we've done in the past has not done anything right by us as far as humans and the nature of this planet. Tech companies have stepped up their effort recently, trying to become carbon neutral as well. Apple has decided to become carbon neutral across their whole entire business by 2030. Microsoft has teamed up with Nike, Unilever, and Starbucks to form Transform to Net Zero, which is an initiative to achieving net zero carbon emissions by the year 2050. This information gathered by CNET.com. Personally, what I felt that COVID-19 brought to my attention was isolation. It brought some clarity to myself. Personally, allowed me to think about my mind, about where I'm at, about how I make my decisions, about how I gather my news, about how I dissect it, about how I dissect conversations that I have with people, and try to not be so divisive. Just be more like informal. Don't really try to make someone feel dumb. That's not my point. I just want to talk and see what information we can give each other, and that's as far as I want to do. Just talk. If I'm wrong, hopefully someone can tell me I'm wrong so I can correct myself. That's the whole point of wanting to be better, finding your mistakes, finding your weaknesses, and being better. So hopefully, if I do make mistakes, people will not be afraid to correct me. That's just what I'm here for. But personally, it allowed me to think about how I want to be and how I should be feeling as a human being. And what I've come to understand in reflecting, I lacked confidence in myself to, try something and even give myself the chance to fail instead of assuming, no, I can't do it. And now being more assertive and confident in my thought process and the way I choose to go about believing in what I believe in, I don't feel as shaky. I feel like my foundation is solid. I'm building it myself. This is one that I am going to build off of strength from pain. And let's see what I do with it, belief in myself, belief that I can actually build something and be sustainable with it. Belief that I can achieve something that, I never thought of before, that I thought of as impossible. or experience something, a loss, a lesson learned, you know. And yeah, the last thing is to build a solid foundation, build a firm belief in something, because as humans, we need to believe in something. Um, we need to believe that what we're doing here is for a reason, whatever it may be. Live a fulfilled life. Make sure you're feeling good about yourself and your choices. That's all I would ask if you're paying attention to any of this. Um, just make some better choices. If you are making good choices and you're good with yourself, then hey, man, this isn't for you. Um, be good. Keep living good. I know life may be difficult at times, but hey, keep doing you. Um, but as far as for the people who are second guessing themselves and caught up in the middle, where I was, I don't feel like I'm so caught up in the middle as before, but um, we gotta sometimes make a decision even when we don't want to because it's uncomfortable. We have to, in order to build a character and who we are, figure out what we stand for and what we believe in. Um, Getting a little repetitive on that, so let's go forward. People near me were afraid that I had come down with some sort of cabin fever during this COVID-19 period. They were worried that I may have just been too much time at home, which is possible, but in my own mind, I felt like I was like Homer Simpson. To be honest with you, I felt like I was built for the stay-at-home orders and to just chill, to be, myself. And little did I know that that was totally not the case. Because it ended up giving me time to think, and not just time to think, but overthink and overanalyze a lot of stuff. And that's where I began second guessing a lot of my decisions and a lot of my reasons of doing anything. So, little did I know that would be affected in a way that I did not see coming. Up to date feelings about the current situation. Or current solutions on how I feel has helped me. Uh, I feel being with others and communicating is key to happiness. I feel like on this planet we are made to communicate. We are not meant to be alone. We're not meant to keep things in. When I was 15 and went to counseling for my parents' divorce, um, I was a young, stubborn teen, did not think I needed it. I was just regurgitating that I was okay because that's what I heard around me. Figured that's what I needed to say. Um, Little did I know that everything I knew and my whole world was about to be shaken up by my parents splitting up. And at that point in time, I did not think that I needed the help, but I did. Um, Although I may not have gotten the help that I needed then, there was one thing that stood out to me, and that was the lesson on never to bottle things up. That if you do bottle things up, that one day you will explode from emotion, and you won't be able to explain what you're doing because it'll be so euphoric of a feeling you cannot explain, of either upset, anger, whatever you may do to release this tension. You might not be able to recollect it because it's such a euphoric feeling that I feel many end up having episodes and they cannot recall later on that they even did it because it was just so out of body experience, somewhat like. And so I would like to help people, understand how to manage our emotions better because we need to understand that people do manipulate them and we can't allow that to happen. Understanding of not bottling things in. I want to share that information because I know not everyone has the access to counseling. So, or the examples that may occur in my life that some people don't experience, and then same with others, vice versa, that I don't experience. At least have not yet. Reducing stress wherever you can is good for everyone. Understand there's things that you cannot control. So try not to stress that. Try not to weigh it on your shoulders every day. Figure out what you can control and try to handle that the best you can. I believe some genuine gratitude would also go a long way for people feeling genuine about each other. I think a lot of people give backhanded compliments, talking at the side of their mouth, some shit we had to read it between the lines, and it's like, nah, we need to stop with that shit, because when we do that, that's why we think people are not real, not, whatever the hell you may call it, two-faced. Just be more genuine. Show more love. That would help. Be happy with yourself. I think that would probably start with you being able to give love to other people. But anyways, back to this. We need less stuff than we think. I was one who was a people pleaser, thinking I needed everyone to like me. Little did I know that was detrimental to my mind and character and shit, just me as my whole being. So once I learned how to detach, wanting to be liked by everybody, caring to be liked by everybody, caring to be everybody's friend, I've come to the realization what's really important, and that's kind of just leaving an impact that you want to feel proud of, and that's kind of where I'm at. So, let's figure a way also to reset and align our body and soul and mind. We need to pick up some breathing exercises and a way to clear our mind, because that's very important in my opinion, as far as resetting yourself from the busy day that may occur. The many thoughts and choices that you're going throughout the day is very tiring and taxing to the mind. And if you do not know how to reset and get yourself going throughout the day without using the super sugary drinks or some type of a boost of whatever, you'll know that sooner or later that becomes unhealthy. Leads to diabetes, leads to an early death. So let's figure out a way to become natural with our stuff. Figure it out. The gut is a big brain, just like the one in our head. So whatever you feed it, it's going to give your body those nutrients and tell it what to do with it. So know that. I don't know too much about the science of it, to give you the X's and O's, give you the names and shit, but that's just, when I read about it. It's the common basic shit. You just got to feed yourself some good shit, you'll feel good. As of July 23rd, 2021, on some news information, much of Australia is back in the lockdown. Olympics had opened up the games under a state of emergency. The Netherlands is about to reimpose the restrictions of cafes, bars, and nightlife. Italians will have to soon show a health pass if they want to attend a movie. After Prime Minister Mario Draghi followed France's lead to get people to be vaccinated, which is not a bad thing in my opinion. People have their opinion on that. I feel, science is going to do what it can. I feel like what we've understood in all of this, or what I've understood, is that people don't understand how science works. They try, they make some hypothesis, they test it. Sometimes studies work out, sometimes they do it again and it doesn't. That's real science happening in real time, and I think people aren't really up to date on that and how this works out, and how we're really unprepared for all this, but it's all right. I'm not a scientist. Let's not go that far. What does that mean for investors and markets if another lockdown was to hit the States? I think that would be a tragedy. I think small businesses would be the first ones to take the bare brunt of all the damage like before. Shout out to the Barstool Fund and Barstool Sports. They showed me the importance during last COVID of all the videos they had posted, being aware of all the businesses that had just been shut down of 60 to 40 to 30, however many years. Just hearing all the sad stories and how they were able to help them was big inspiration to me, wanting to put small businesses out there more and let people know that, hey man, we should support them more than not, because we're helping our local people help their dreams come true versus a big corporate business. So in all reality, I think small businesses, definitely we got to be looking out for them, especially if another lockdown happens, because we want our people to succeed. We don't want people to fail. I think if we have people succeed, we have a better place. If you want people to succeed, it makes you a better person as well, I think. As far as closing out the show, all I'm going to ask is if you are good with your choices, you're good with the selection that you make, then they're all good in my book. If you see me saying some rough things, it ain't about you. You said you're good, right? You said you're good with your choices. So, this is for the people caught up in the middle, not knowing where to go. And just a reminder that we do got to make a choice before it's too late. And then we regret all this time that we didn't make this choice. So, speaking from experience, it's from the Uncle Greg Show. We're going to give you some real shit. All right, y'all. Hope you enjoyed this COVID-19 coverage, real life coverage. Gave you what I went through, gave you what my ideas on how this planet could recover. We're going to talk some more. I want to get more knowledge on some science stuff, because I do have some ideas on the rotation of this planet, may, be changing. And why aren't we talking about that? Next time. All right, y'all. Good evening. Good afternoon. Good night. Uncle Greg.